In a world flooded with polymer pistols and red dot ready slides, some legendary handguns are quietly fading into the background. These aren't just old models collecting dust. They're precision tools, tactical beasts, and iconic sidearms that are disappearing from shelves fast. Whether it's due to changing calibers, discontinued production, or simply being overshadowed by the next big thing, these 10 pistols are on the verge of extinction. And if you've ever thought about getting one, now is the time. From elite tactical sidearms to overlooked masterpieces, this is 10 pistols that are disappearing soon. Grab one now. You might already own one. You might be hunting for one. Or you might regret not acting fast when they're gone for good. So buckle up. We're counting them down, starting with number 10. If you're into rare guns, underrated firearms, and deep dive content like this, don't forget to like this video. If you're enjoying the countdown, drop a comment below and let us know which of these pistols you've owned or want to own, and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth firearm content, reviews, and collector alerts before your favorite guns vanish without a trace. Let's get into it. 10. Smith & Wesson SW1911 SCE Series. At number 10, we've got a pistol that once brought innovation to a century-old platform, the Smith & Wesson SW1911 SCE Series. A lightweight 1911 with a scandium alloy frame? Yeah, that's not something you see every day. And unfortunately, you're about to see it a whole lot less, because in 2025, it's practically extinct. Let's rewind for a second. The SW1911 SC wasn't just another 1911 clone. It was Smith & Wesson's attempt to give the classic .45 ACP Commander a facelift. You got all the traditional 1911 controls, thumb safety, grip safety, skeletonized trigger, but packed into a high-tech scandium frame that weighed less than most of its all-steel rivals. It blended old-school feel with new-age metallurgy. This thing looked modern too. Fish scale serrations, E-series engraving, Novak night sights. It had presence. The 4.25-inch barrel and aggressive styling made it a serious contender for EDC among 1911 fans who wanted something tough, reliable, and distinctive. But here's the problem. It cost too much to make. Scandium is rare, it's expensive, and machining it isn't easy. As costs went up, so did the price tag. Combine that with the rise of cheaper, lighter, and easier-to-maintain polymer pistols, and the market for high-end alloy frame 1911s began to shrink fast. By 2024, the writing was on the wall. Smith & Wesson quietly pulled the SW1911 SC from its catalog. Try to find one now? Good luck! Online gun shops listed as out of stock. Gunbroker listings are drying up. And when you do see one, it's going for hundreds more than MSRP. We're talking over $1,600 in like new inbox condition, up from $1,100 just a couple years ago. And this isn't just about price, it's about scarcity. The SW1911 SC is becoming a collector's piece, not because it was a flashy competition gun, but because it was a rare, smartly designed evolution of the 1911. It offered serious performance in a sleek, lightweight frame that's no longer being made. That makes it desirable. And the more time passes, the rarer it gets. So if you ever wanted one, now's the time. Because like a lot of great pistols that dared to be different, the SW1911 SC didn't fail. It just became too special for the mass market. 9. CZ75 Compact, steel frame DA/SA. Sliding into the 9th spot is the CZ75 Compact, An all-steel, double-action, single-action pistol that once stood as a cornerstone of practical carry for serious shooters who valued old-school reliability over polymer trends. This is a gun with heritage, substance, and performance. But in 2025, it's fading fast. And that's not just rumor. Built with a traditional double-action, single-action system and based on the legendary CZ75 platform, the compact version offers a 3.75-inch barrel and reduced grip length, making it slightly more carry-friendly, while retaining that tank-like construction CZ fans love. It holds 14+1 rounds of 9mm in its steel frame, giving you the firepower of a full size, with the control of a duty pistol. Why is it vanishing? Part of the reason lies in shifting market preferences. CZ has been investing heavily in its polymer-framed P10 series and the Shadow line, both of which cater more to the striker-fired crowd and competitive shooters. The DA/SA steel frame pistols? They're being quietly sidelined. Many U.S. distributors have reported that the CZ75 Compact, especially in its traditional steel form, isn't being restocked, and CZ USA's own catalog is starting to trim down its classic offerings. But this isn't just about disappearing SKUs, it's about the end of an era. The CZ75 Compact features a classic manual safety, not a decocker, low-bore axis for soft recoil, and that famously smooth slide-in frame design that delivers exceptional accuracy. It's one of the few DA/SA compacts that still feels like a full-size duty gun in your hands. And that cold hammer-forged barrel? It's match-worthy, straight from the box. The ergonomics are old-school Eastern European in all the right ways. Rounded grip contours, textured rubber panels, and a curved trigger that rewards a practiced double-action pull. The reset is clean, the single-action brake is crisp, and the reliability, as good as it gets. But with the rising demand for optics-ready pistols and lighter polymer frames, this all-steel classic is getting left behind. Not because it's bad, but because it refuses to change. It was never flashy. It was never meant to be. But for many, it was perfect the way it was. In collector circles, the CZ75 Compact is already gaining steam, particularly in LNIB condition. With the old-school blue box packaging, prices are creeping up on resale platforms. And the longer CZ delays or discontinues production, the more this model transforms from practical shooter to modern classic. Bottom line, the CZ75 Compact is one of those pistols you don't realize you'll miss until it's gone. It may not be optics-ready or ultralight, but it's rock-solid, smooth shooting, and built like a vault. If you see one on the shelf in 2025, you might want to grab it. Because the steel-frame DA/SA pistol is a dying breed. And this might be one of the last true icons left standing. 8. Sig Sauer SP2022. Sliding into the number 8 spot is a pistol that's been quietly dependable for decades, yet now teeters on the edge of total market obscurity. The Sig Sauer SP2022. Once hailed as SIG's modern budget workhorse, it's now a relic of another era, especially in a world obsessed with striker-fired compacts and polymer wonders. Originally developed for the French police, the SP2022 was CG's first major attempt at a polymer-framed, hammer-fired pistol that wasn't a traditional P-series. Chambered in 9mm and sometimes .40 S&W, it came with a full-sized frame, a decocker, and a smooth double-action, single-action trigger system. And for years, it delivered, reliably and accurately. What made the SP2022 special was its simplicity and SIG quality at a fraction of the price. You got a hammer-fired pistol with steel slide rails, night sights, interchangeable grips, and a decent 15-round magazine. It had that SIG heft and precision, but without the P226 price tag. But times change, and in 2025, the SP2022 is basically a ghost. SIG has shifted hard toward modular platforms like the P320 and the P365. And while the SP2022 is still technically listed on some distributor sheets, actual availability has dried up. SIG isn't promoting it. Gun shops rarely carry it. And Gen Z shooters? Most of them have never even heard of it. The few SP2022s that are still out there are commanding a quiet cult following. Law enforcement agencies that use them still swear by their ruggedness. Civilian owners praise the crisp SA trigger brake. But the market has moved on, and SIG isn't looking back. With no factory updates, no optics-ready models, and no aftermarket support to speak of, the SP2022 is a disappearing act in real time. And that's a shame, because it's still a fantastic pistol for the money. Bottom line, if you can find an SP2022 in good condition, grab it. Not only are you getting one of the last great hammer-fire duty pistols, but you're buying into a piece of SIG history that may never be repeated. 7th, Beretta PX4 Storm Compact. Sliding into our number 7 spot is the Beretta PX4 Storm Compact, a pistol that's quietly riding off into the sunset, despite offering one of the most unique and underrated designs in the modern handgun world. At first glance, the PX4 Storm Compact doesn't scream tactical cool like some of today's polymer wonders. But look a little deeper, and you'll discover a feature set that still rivals modern carry pistols, especially if you're a fan of double-action, single-action systems. Chambered in 9mm, the PX4 Compact brings a 3.2-inch rotating barrel system to the table. Yes, you heard that right. Rotating, not tilting. This rare design reduces felt recoil and muzzle flip, making for smoother shooting and faster follow-ups. It's one of the only production pistols still using this method, and for many shooters, it's a game-changer in terms of controllability. Ergonomically, the PX4 Compact is pure Beretta. The grip is contoured just right, with modular back straps that let you customize the fit. It fills the hand without feeling bulky, and the texturing strikes that perfect balance. Secure, but not sandpaper rough. Now, let's talk controls. Like other DASA pistols, the PX4 Compact has an external hammer, ambidextrous safety, charm decocker, and a smooth DA pull for that crucial first shot. If you're trained on hammer-fired systems, this gun feels like home. If you're not, it might convince you to switch teams. Capacity-wise, you're looking at 15+1 rounds of 9mm, making it fully competitive with today's top-tier compacts. And unlike many striker-fired designs, the PX4's DA/SA operation gives you a second strike capability, something you don't think you need until you do. The PX4 Compact also shines in its build quality. This is classic Beretta engineering: tight tolerances, smooth slide operation, and long-term durability. It's a pistol designed to run for tens of thousands of rounds with minimal maintenance. And yet, it's being phased out. Why? Simple. Striker-fired pistols dominate today's market. They're lighter, simpler, and easier to train on. As a result, DA/SA pistols, like the PX4 Storm Compact, are slowly disappearing from gun store shelves. Beretta still makes them, for now, but with newer models like the APX-A1 stealing the spotlight, the PX4 Compact's days are clearly numbered. That makes now the time to snag one. Bottom line? The Beretta PX4 Storm Compact is a sleeper hit. Reliable, soft shooting, and packed with old-school features that some shooters still swear by. If you want a unique, durable, and often overlooked compact pistol before it's gone for good, this is your shot. 6th FNX-45 Tactical. At number 6, we've got a pistol that looks like it came straight out of a Special Forces armory, because it basically did. Meet the FNX-45 Tactical, a full-sized powerhouse that's slowly fading from the spotlight, but still deserves a place in any serious shooter's collection. Originally developed to compete for the U.S. Joint Combat Pistol Program, the FNX-45 Tactical is built for war, and it shows. Chambered in 45 ACP, this handgun offers massive stopping power with a 15+1 capacity, which is practically unheard of in the 45 world. Most 45 pistols tap out at 8 or 10 rounds. The FNX, it says, go big or go home. One of the FNX-45's standout features is its suppressor-ready build, right from the factory. You get a threaded barrel, tall suppressor-height night sights, and an optics-ready slide, all included. No custom shop, no aftermarket upgrades. This thing is turnkey tactical right out of the box. And it's not just about the accessories. The FNX-45 Tactical runs on a DA/SA hammer-fired system, giving you a long, deliberate double-action pull for the first shot and a crisp single-action follow-up. Combined with fully ambidextrous controls, mag release, slide stop, decocker, safety, this pistol is built for versatility, whether you're a righty or a lefty. The polymer frame may look chunky, but it's surprisingly ergonomic. FN included interchangeable back straps to help you dial in the fit, and the aggressive grip texture locks the gun into your hand without being punishing under recoil. Speaking of recoil, even though this pistol launches heavy 45 slugs, the weight and design help keep it manageable, even with a suppressor mounted. But here's the catch. The FNX-45 Tactical is slowly disappearing from civilian catalogs. FN is quietly focusing more on their 9mm platforms like the FN-509 series. The .45 ACP market just isn't what it used to be, and the demand for full-sized .45 tactical handguns has taken a serious dip. That's a shame, because the FNX-45 Tactical is a rare breed, a true do-it-all pistol that's suppressor-ready, optics-ready, and combat-proven. Whether you're a collector, a .45 enthusiast, or someone who just appreciates serious firepower, this is one of those pistols you'll regret missing once it's gone. Bottom line, the FNX-45 Tactical is big, bold, and built for battle. It's not just a pistol, it's a statement. And in a world moving toward compact 9mm strikers, it might be your last chance to own a factory-ready tactical .45 that checks all the boxes. Glock 17 L, long slide. Coming in at number 5 is a Glock you rarely see in the wild, but when you do, it leaves a serious impression. Meet the Glock 17 L, the long slide 9mm that helped shape Glock's competition legacy, yet is quietly vanishing from shelves as newer models take the spotlight. Originally designed for competition shooters, the Glock 17 L is essentially a stretched-out version of the classic Glock 17. It features a massive 6.02-inch barrel and a full-length slide that enhances accuracy, reduces recoil, and gives you that unmistakable long slide silhouette. This isn't your average duty pistol. It's built to reach out, stay on target, and run flat all day long. That longer slide means a longer sight radius, which translates to tighter shot placement, especially for those who compete in IDPA, USPSA, or just enjoy precision shooting at the range. And if you've ever tried to control muzzle flip in rapid fire, you'll appreciate the extra weight up front. It helps tame the recoil and keep your red dot or front sight locked on target. Inside, it's classic Glock simplicity. Striker-fired, polymer frame, safe action trigger system. It's everything you expect from a Glock, just scaled up for performance. The trigger on the 17L has a slightly lighter break than standard duty models, which is why it's been a favorite for competitors and range warriors alike. But here's the problem. Glock barely makes these anymore. The 17L has seen sporadic, limited production runs over the years, quietly overshadowed by newer Glock models like the 34 and 34 MOS. Most gun stores don't stock them. Even online, they're getting harder and harder to find, especially in new condition. Why the decline? Part of it comes down to market evolution. Shooters want optics-ready platforms now, and Glock's 34 MOS checks that box while offering a similar long slide advantage. That's made the 17-liter feel like a legacy item, a cult classic, rather than a mainstream staple. But don't get it twisted. The 17-liter is still an absolute laser on the range. The long slide, soft recoil, and Glock reliability make it a joy to shoot. And for collectors, it's quickly becoming one of those "I should have bought it when I had the chance" pistols. Bottom line, the Glock 17L is a dying breed. It's a precision-built performer from the early days of Glock's rise to dominance, designed to do one thing incredibly well: shoot flat, fast, and accurate. If you want one, don't wait, because when the last batch is gone, it might be gone for good. 4. HK-USP-40 S&W. Taking the number 4 spot is a pistol that once ruled the tactical world, the Heckler & Koch USP in 40 S&W. This is the sidearm that defined "built like a tank" in the polymer pistol era, and yet today, it's quietly fading into obscurity as the 40 caliber falls out of favor. The USP, short for Universal Self-Loading Pistol, was HK's answer to a duty-grade handgun that could handle serious abuse. Chambered in 40 S&W, it arrived right when law enforcement was ditching 9mm for more punch, and the USP delivered. Built with a reinforced polymer frame, embedded steel rails, and HK's famous recoil reduction system, this gun eats recoil like a champ. The .40 S&W cartridge is known to be snappy, but the USP smooths it out like butter. That built-in recoil buffer isn't just marketing, it works, and it keeps this pistol shooting flat and lasting long. And let's not forget that DA/SA trigger system, long double action for that first shot, followed by a short, crisp, single-action pull. It's hammer-fired with a manual safety decocker combo that lets you carry cocked and locked, decocked, or however you prefer. It's customizable, bomb-proof, and built for serious users. You also get a cold hammer-forged barrel, HK's signature paddle mag release, and oversized controls that feel right at home on a duty gun. This thing isn't flashy, it's functional, and it's made to fight. So, why is it disappearing? Simple. .40 S&W is dying. Departments and shooters are going back to 9mm for its softer recoil, higher capacity, and better ballistics with modern ammo. HK's focus has shifted to newer models like the VP9 and P30 series, and the USP .40 has been left in the shadows. Add to that the fact that new USP .4s are harder to find, and you've got a platform that's slowly slipping away. You'll still see them pop up on the used market, but fewer and fewer are being imported or made available to civilians. But here's the thing, this gun still slaps. It's accurate, dependable, and one of the last true overbuilt service pistols from the old-school era. It's a piece of tactical history that still runs like a champ. Bottom line, if you're looking for a rugged .240 caliber handgun that can handle thousands of rounds without flinching, the HK USP40 S&W is it. Get one now, because in a few years, this beast will be a rare find, and prices are only going up. 3. Beretta 92 G Elite LTT Langdon Tactical. At number 3, we have a pistol that takes a legendary platform and pushes it to elite performance levels. The Beretta 92 G Elite LTT, customized by none other than Langdon Tactical Technologies. If the classic Beretta M9 was a military workhorse, the LTT is its highly trained, precision-tuned cousin that shoots like a dream. Built on the iconic Beretta 92 frame, the Elite LTT keeps the heart of the design intact. Full-size, open-slide, alloy frame, hammer-fired, but adds all the enhancements serious shooters crave. This isn't a duty pistol off the shelf. This is a refined machine, and every part is optimized for performance. Let's talk about the trigger, because it's a game-changer. Langdon Tactical installs their trigger job in a bag, giving the 92 GLTT one of the smoothest DA/SA pulls you'll ever feel on a production handgun. The double-action pull is light and fluid, while the single-action brake is crisp with a short, positive reset. It's competition-grade, right out of the box. Then there's the G-model decocker-only setup. No manual safety here, just a safe, reliable decocker that resets your hammer without the risk of accidentally locking the gun when you need it most. It's what serious shooters prefer, and it makes the 92 GLTT a faster, more intuitive platform under stress. The slide is the Vertex style, meaning it's slimmer and sits lower in your hand than traditional M9 slides. Combine that with the checkered front and back strap, ultra-grippy G10 grips, and you get a pistol that points fast, stays flat in recoil, and feels locked in even during rapid fire. Accuracy? Outstanding. Thanks to the match-grade barrel, tuned internals, and Beretta's already excellent lockup system, this gun punches tight groups at distance, whether you're ringing steel or running drills. But here's the kicker. The 92 G Elite LTT is a limited production model, and not always easy to find. Langdon Tactical doesn't mass-produce these. They're built in batches, often to order, and inventory moves fast. You'll be lucky to catch one in stock without a waiting period or a price jump. And in today's market, as striker-fired polymer pistols dominate the shelves, high-end hammer-fired guns like this are slowly becoming niche. That makes the 92 GLTT even more of a collector's gem. It's the best version of a dying breed. Bottom line? The Beretta 92 G Elite LTT is arguably the pinnacle of the Beretta 92 platform. Hand-tuned, optics-ready capable, and tailored for shooters who demand precision and control. If you've ever loved the feel of a classic Beretta but wanted it dialed to 11, this is your chance. Because once Langdon moves on to newer projects, this elite variant may be gone, and you'll wish you had one. 2. Walther P99 AS. Closing in at number 2 is a pistol that was way ahead of its time, yet somehow flew under the radar for most of its life. The Walther P99 AS. It's sleek, smart, and full of features that modern pistols are only now catching up to. But sadly, after more than 2 decades of quiet brilliance, the P99 AS is officially being retired. 2023 marked its final production run. Let's talk about why that matters. The P99 AS, or anti-stress, is Walther's original flagship polymer pistol. First introduced in the late 1990s, it brought in innovations that were borderline futuristic at the time, like a striker-fired system with a decocker, a true double-action, single-action trigger, and full ambidextrous controls. For a plastic gun in the pre-Glock-dominated world, that was huge. The AS trigger system is where this pistol truly shines. Out of the box, it gives you a long double-action pull for the first shot, like a traditional DASA hammer gun, but with a striker-fired mechanism. After the first shot, the trigger resets to a short, crisp, single-action pull that feels incredibly fast and responsive. And if you decock it, it returns to the long pull for safe carry. It's weird, in the best possible way. You also get a decocker button right on top of the slide, something no other modern striker-fired pistol has. Need to return to double-action mode? Press it. Want to run the gun in single action all day at the range? Just rack it and go. It's flexible, safe, and precise. The ergonomics? Still top tier. The P99 AS introduced interchangeable backstraps long before other companies even thought of it. The grip is contoured just right, with a natural point and a high undercut trigger guard. It feels like an extension of your hand, especially if you've got medium to small hands. And this wasn't some obscure Euro import. The P99 AS saw real-world service with law enforcement in Europe, and even made cameos in pop culture, including being James Bond's sidearm in the early 2000s. That's right, 07 trusted the P99 before switching to the Walther PPK. But here's the catch. Walther stopped producing the P99 AS in 2023, ending a 26-year run. Why? Because the shooting world moved on. Walther shifted its focus to the PPQ and then to the PDP, both of which are simpler, striker-fired platforms more in line with what the market wants today. Red dot ready, flat triggers, and optics compatibility. The P99 AS, while brilliant, just doesn't fit in anymore. It's not optics ready, it's not modular, and it's a little too quirky for the mainstream buyer. But for those who get it, the P99 AS is a unicorn, a unique blend of safety, speed, and shootability that's never quite been replicated. And now that it's discontinued, it's already becoming a collector's item. Bottom line, the Walther P99 AS is one of the most underrated pistols of the last 25 years. It's a striker-fired pistol with soul, blending DASA versatility, amazing ergonomics, and reliable German engineering. If you ever wanted one, this is it. Because the factory is done, the shelves are drying up, and once they're gone for good. 1. Sig Sauer P210 Standard, US production. And at number 1, the top of our list, is a pistol that defines precision, craftsmanship, and old-school European excellence, the Sig Sauer P210 Standard, specifically the US-made version. This isn't just a gun, it's a masterpiece. And sadly, it's another one that's fading fast. Originally born in Switzerland, the P210 was developed as a military pistol for elite shooters. It quickly earned a reputation for being one of the most accurate service pistols ever made, thanks to its tight tolerances, fixed barrel, and full-length slide rails that glide like butter. When Sig Sauer brought production to the US, fans were skeptical. But to their credit, the American-made P210 Standard held its own. It kept the precision, it kept the heritage, and it made this legendary handgun just a bit more accessible to American shooters. The P210 Standard is chambered in 9mm, with a single-stack magazine, all-steel construction, and a single action-only trigger that breaks like a glass rod. It's not built for speed, it's built for perfection. Every shot feels deliberate. Every pull of the trigger feels intentional. If you've never shot one, it's hard to describe. This isn't a pistol you just plink with. It's a pistol you experience. But here's the problem. SIG quietly discontinued the U.S. production of the P210 standard in 2023. No big press release, no fanfare, just gone. Why? Because in today's market, precision, single action, all steel, $1,300 pistols don't move the needle. Shooters are chasing optics-ready polymer guns, threaded barrels, and 17+1 capacity. And while the P210 is flawless in execution, it's also a relic of a different era, a time when craftsmanship beat capacity, and accuracy was everything. As of now, only limited stocks remain. Some retailers still have them, but once those are sold out, it's highly unlikely we'll see a reboot. European imports? Rare. US production? Finished. That makes the P210 Standard one of the most collectible pistols on this list, and possibly the most refined. Let's not forget the build quality. Forged stainless steel frame, checkered walnut grips, and a slide-to-frame fit that feels like it's on ball bearings. And that target-style trigger? It's a dream. You can take this straight to the range and outshoot guns twice the price, if you can shoot as well as the pistol demands. Bottom line, the Sig Sauer P210 Standard is the end of an era. It's not tactical, it's not flashy, but it's flawless. And now that it's out of production, prices are climbing, and availability is shrinking fast. If you've ever wanted to own a piece of European shooting history, this is your final boarding call.